Right, I'd like to call this meeting of the Ventura County Campaign Finance Ethics Commission to order and call roll at this time.
Chair Pack, Commissioner Jones, here. Commissioner Renee,
Here.
and Commissioner Tolman.
Here. I've reviewed the agenda and asked if there are any suggestions for revision to the agenda by staff or commission.
I have no changes for the agenda.
Commissioners? And I believe that there's a speaker card for number 3. Mr. Williams, it's not the practice of this commission to review agenda items by other than those of the staff or the commission.
Chair, I can call your attention to the Brown Act. Any item on the agenda can be spoken to by the public. That's the Brown Act.
Thank you. Agenda item number 4. Approval of the minutes for July 11th, 2007.
Also move to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second. I thought there was a mistake someplace.
Did you want a moment to review the minutes? All right, the commission approves the minutes for the meeting of July 11th, 2007. Agenda item number 5. Public comments. I believe we have a speaker card for Mr. Williams.
Geraldine Williams, the agenda is out of order. You have items under the procedures of a written verified statement of disqualification that is being ignored today. You have not followed the law on that, and they're on the wrong place in your agenda. So I'm calling that to your attention. Since you don't know the Brown Act, and you don't know your job, I'll be filing a complaint with the district attorney.
Thank you. Are there, under agenda item number 6, commission member comments? Ms. Jones?
No.
Ms. Tolman?
No.
All right, let's go on to the regular agenda. Agenda number item number 7.
Good afternoon, members of the Commission. My name is Ken Hardy of the law firm Collins, Chuno & Levin. I have submitted a notice of motion and motion to dismiss complaint in case number 2006-10. If you would like, I can reiterate or summarize that motion for you. I certainly defer to whatever the Commission wishes on this matter. If you want clarification on anything, I'll certainly answer questions as well.
Okay, well, your motion is duly noted. Are there any questions by the commission? Was there any comment that you wish to make at this time over and above that?
No, Chair. Everything is in the papers. Thank you.
There has been a recommendation for dismissal of case number 2006-10. Per the memorandum of points and authorities submitted by Mr. Hardy, do I have a motion on this?
I'll move to dismiss.
You have a speaker card.
Is there any discussion on this?
Yes, I did. I submitted a speaker card on 7.
Thank you. I note your speaker card, Mr. Williams, and you have the floor at this time.
I call your attention that a written verified statement has been filed under the campaign operating policy dated July 11th, section 1401 and 1402. And you are violating your own operating procedure. But furthermore, Mr. Hardy has obstructed justice and tucked away evidence. I will turn to the exhibits. He has done away with the dates on the exhibits. Turn to this exhibit with Judy Michaels' picture on it. Down at the bottom, when it was printed off, it has a date. And he has removed that date so he can make false statements in his deal. Now, to show you how he's the comedy team of Laurel and Hardy, let's just go a little bit further. On this page, he wasn't able to get it all the way off. But it's still the wrong date of the date that I printed off. So looky there. He has messed with the evidence. That's what Mr. Hardy has done of Laurel and Hardy, and I'll reserve my time for 8 and 9.
Thank you.
You need a new motion? Okay.
I believe the motion stands.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Agenda number 8, recommendation for dismissal of case number 2007-01, Friends of Steve Bennett.
Madam Chair, if I may make one comment.
Yes.
Just for the record, that Mr. Wucher, who is the Commission's legal advisor on matters 8 and 9, had an emergency arise today that prevented him from attending the meeting. So there is, I am not acting as legal advisor to the Commission on matters 8 and 9. Does not preclude you from moving forward, but if you do need any legal advice, then you would need to continue the matter until you could consult at the next meeting with Mr. Wucher.
Thank you. Mr. Hardy, your motion is noted. And did you want to speak to that?
I don't believe that's necessary, Commissioners. I think everything I needed to say is set forth in the motion and the points and authorities. But I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have about the motion or the points and authorities.
Any questions by the Commission? All right, I believe, thank you, Mr. Hardy. I believe we have another speaker card, Mr. Williams.
I reiterate that a written verified statement has been filed and the law has been violated on this item. But I will call your attention to Steve Bennett's, Friends of Steve Bennett's letter received July 31st, where he admits the violation. This commission has already made a ruling on treasurers that they need to be responsible. You have already ruled. And the other treasurer was Jamie Tanker. So this letter is a confession of the violation of the charter on this item.
Any further discussion regarding this? Is there a motion regarding case number 200701?
I would move to dismiss.
Second? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The matter is dismissed. Number 9, agenda number 9.
Yes, members of the commission, I have submitted before you a notice of motion and motion to dismiss complaint in case number 2007-02, along with a memorandum of points and authorities to support that. Like that prior to, I think the motion and the points and authorities speak for themselves, but I will be more than happy to answer any questions that you have if you wish clarification.
Any questions regarding this motion?
Are we taking up 11 and 14 that relate to this or not?
Yes, I'll be raising that momentarily. I was going to ask that agenda items number 11 and 14 be taken up at this time also, since they're related to agenda item number 9.
I should add, Chair, that I have reviewed the materials that are part of those additional agenda items.
All right, very good. Anything further from the commission regarding Mr. Hardy's motion? Thank you, Mr. Hardy. I note a speaker card. Mr. Williams?
I need a clarification. You had item 3, which was your agenda review, and now you have just taken off items off the correspondence agenda after you've already adopted it? Is that what you've done, Madam Chair? Huh? Well, that's what it sounded like back there in the audience. How come you went to the correspondence agenda when the correspondence agenda wasn't called yet? Can you tell me why you mentioned the correspondence agenda?
You would listen for just a moment. We took the items in number 14 and 11 out of order because they were related to number 9. You have an opportunity to address number 9, and you're given that opportunity right now.
Well, wasn't that under another item that talked about changes to the agenda? You didn't discuss that then. You've already adopted this.
Mr. Williams, we're just trying to consolidate it.
Well, Ms. Jones, my question is, wasn't that the time to do it? When you reviewed the agenda, wasn't that the time to do it?
I don't think that there's anything that requires us to do it at that time.
Well, then you're taking action that's saying that's not on the agenda. Well, I'll file a complaint. Again, Steve Bennett admits to the wrongdoing, and the very same thing that you find another campaign for, another treasurer. He's crying crocodile tears here. His treasurer is an experienced treasurer. This is a clear-cut violation. And in reading the definitions of this ordinance, it's obvious that if Mr. Hardy don't know the definitions and can't find them, how in the world can you ever know the definitions of them? This commission is just a failure, a total farce of justice today, a total farce, a total setup, and it's all recorded here, and nothing personal, ladies. Nothing personal, ladies. But you have verified the definition of when you don't know shit about a subject, you are an asshole. And
Excuse me.
that's what I am witnessing down here
Excuse me,
today.
at this moment,
You don't have a clue of what
I'm
you
going to
are
request
doing.
that we turn off the recording and the video and ask you to refrain from any further.
You asked me to refrain from my First Amendment rights? Is that what you're asking?
You heard my request.
Oh, I got it on film. It will be on DVD.
Mr. Williams, it hurts our feelings when you call us an asshole.
Huh?
It hurts our feelings when you call us.
Oh, well, let me soothe your feelings.
Thank you.
All right, do we have a motion, or is there further discussion regarding agenda number 9?
No.
Do we have a motion?
I'll so move.
All right. Those in favor of dismissal of case number 2007-2?
Aye.
Aye. The matter is dismissed.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hardy.
Agenda number 10.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Craig Steele, Richards, Watson, and Gershon, outside investigator on case number 2006-06. We're requesting that the Commission approve a stipulated resolution of this matter. In case number 2006-06, the respondent, Ventura County Business Development PAC, has admitted to one violation of Section 1270A of the ordinance, in that they made independent expenditures totaling about $1,070 from a fund which had included 2 contributions that exceeded the $600 contribution limit. When the PAC was notified of the violation, the PAC immediately reimbursed the contributions that exceeded the $600 limit, but nonetheless it was a violation at the time the independent expenditures were made. We are recommending, and the respondent has agreed to, a $400 fine in this particular instance, which is one time the amount that the contribution exceeded the contribution limit. It was a $1,000 contribution that was used to make the independent expenditure. It was $400 in excess of the contribution limit. There was an additional contribution to that PAC that was a $2,000 contribution. That money, however, was refunded to the contributor. It was not used to make independent expenditures, and we therefore don't believe that any purpose would be served by increasing the fine accordingly. So, given that this is a first violation, it is a relatively minor violation, and the independent expenditure in question was only $1,080 approximately. That's the reason we're recommending, and the respondent has stipulated to a $400 fine. I have the check from the respondent in my possession, and you have the stipulation in front of you.
Correct. Any questions on this matter? Mr. Steele?
I'll move it. Approval of the recommendation.
I'll second.
Any further discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Steele. The stipulation and order that respondents pay the fine of a stipulated fine of $400 to the general fund of the County of Ventura has been approved. At this time, we're asked to receive and file correspondence of agenda numbers, item numbers 11 through 14. We have previously received agenda items 11 and 14. May I have some guidance on this? What further action do we need to take?
You just merely need to receive and file all of these items.
Thank you. All right. Is there any further issue to be covered here other than, yes?
For the record, we do need a motion from the commission to receive and file the correspondence items.
Yes. So,
Also move that we receive and file those two items.
Second.
okay, so moved. Any other matter that's not been discussed on the agenda?
To clarify that, the last motion, I heard receive and file the two.
12 and 13.
Okay, I understand that the prior correspondence was taken out of order, but I don't believe at that time that there had been a motion to receive and file those made, so.
Okay.
And I'll revise my motion that we receive and file items 11, 12, 13, and 14.
Very good. Second. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Anything further then?
Madam Chair, the only other item is to discuss the scheduling of the Commission's next meeting. We do have 3 pending cases, and in discussing that with Mr. Steele, we're looking at possibly scheduling the Commission's next meeting for the end of October or the first week in November, depending on what would work the best for the Commission.
First week in November would work better for me because I'm going to be in trial the end of October.
And I'm going to be out of the area in the end of October also, so November would be best. Okay. I guess
Looks like November. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If there's nothing further, then this meeting is adjourned.
Was there a specific date in November?
That would be fine with
Friday,
me.
November 7th.
Thank you.
All right, based on that last moment of revision there, we are now adjourning this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.